hello y'all. F.A. Checky here, Art F.A. Checky, and got this Halloweeny scary piece here that I'm working on. Gonna light the Bob Ross candle here in just a moment, but I just kind of wanted to show a few. This was already detailed out. This was like a rough painting I did over a year ago, and what I'm doing is just kind of detailing and refining the piece. I'm starting over this way, moving my way this way. I'm just on the swamp guy, swamp creature, and the werewolf, the window panorama back there. But the whole aspect of this video goes into just when you're going back to a piece that you never really finished. I mean, you've blocked it out, you've done most of the work. Quite a bit of oils have already been applied here, but I want to improve it. So thanks for watching the Art of F.A. Checky, F.A. TV. Please like, please subscribe, please enjoy watching. And, tell your friends about us, because we're going to be giving half of all the money we make to charities. And since it's Halloween time, why not work on this piece? And it's all kind of fits within the surreal and the fantasy series. This is all fantasy in a sense, horror fantasy, at least maybe I'm stretching it, but still, I thought it kind of fit nice. So, like I said, I'm going to light the Bob Ross candle here, and then we're going to continue with the piece. As is the ritual of this show, little Bob Ross, one of my inspirations in life. Not my only one, but I love him. He light his candle in commemoration. And important to me, and important to, I think, others in the art world. I think finally this guy is getting a little bit more recognition than just a PBS art teacher. Such a wonderful man. The patron saint of oil painting in some ways. Just because he's so good. It's Halloween time. We're moving on to this painting. You can see a good look right here of the work. Moving left to right. And here's a second. We'll get back to the work and show you what I've been doing. Thanks, Bob Ross. You didn't inspire this painting, but you inspired me. All right, now we're back and working on the swamp thing, just kind of finishing some details on here. Talked about using hand rests and things like that before. This is a really rudimentary ruler hand rest that I'm going to use here. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of patting it, placing it there, working on the swamp guy, just kind of using a little bit of raw sienna, some yellow, some real cadmium yellow, whites, and just kind of working on this bit. I thought these nails here with this real thin brush could use a little bit of work. Claws, nails, whatever you want to call it. Real thin brush, real thick application of paint on here, but I'm just kind of just pulling the paint and detailing these little claw appendages of the swamp monster, the creature from the lagoon, and just kind of working it in there. You know, nothing too difficult unless you want to make it so. That's why you have to use the hand rest. It'll make it a lot easier. Sometimes you have to add in a little white when you have like sort of a various contrast right here with the cards behind there. See, it's kind of create a little problem for me. Certain things are not going to stand out as much, so I'm going to add in a little bit of white, perhaps just to bring in some of that moon glow right there on the claw, okay? Which you may not be able to see so well unless I move that. So it's a lot of fun for me to go back to a piece. I'll call it a work done, but only so much done as I feel at that time. I go back to a lot of my artwork and I touch it up. I'll say something's done for the time being. It's kind of how I look at it. And you can have great fun just improving your works, making them how you wanted to make them. And I think that's part of the art is perfectionism. Perfectionism, right? not a word, perfectionism. I don't know how much perfectionism you do in your art or you do in your life, but certainly if you are a perfectionist, you won't let things go very easily into the realm of saying it's complete. Perhaps before I die, maybe I'll accept one perfect piece of art in my collection, which I haven't gotten there yet. Nothing's perfect. I'm not saying a perfect, scenario exists, I guess. Yeah, but why not strive for it? That's the way I look at it. Why not at least try? But like I said, I have great fun just kind of going back to my works, and be careful where you put that. I think that's dry there, but I don't know for sure. Wherever you put your hand rests. This was a previously dry painting, which is now quite wet to the left side. But I paused to think a lot on what I've done and how, you could be a prolific artist, you just make something, you move on. By prolific, you know what I mean, making lots of something. But for me, I can't operate that way. A little pause there in the video. Cameras get batteries pretty low, so it's going to be a short video. But anyway, I can't handle my own work sitting without the perfection I want to do. Okay, and just doing a short video. I thought this piece was really cool. You can see a little bit more on that end. Move the camera a bit. But I thought this work, for Halloween, obviously, was a really good one to go back to and work on. And kudos to guy, Joe Ward. He gave me the idea for this work for the most part. He's just like, do the Halloween the common theme monsters playing cards. So Joe, you deserve a good ounce of credit. More than an ounce, a pound. And he does. Now, I want to show you guys something a little here where you might have like too much paint come off the brush. I take like a nail. I'm using literally a nail. And I'm scraping off some of this paint. If that doesn't get it, you take your rag or whatever, this tiny little spot here, I put way too much paint on it, you can fix it. And when I was talking, I wasn't concentrating, so that's alright. But going back to what I was saying earlier, Joe, you deserve a big round of credit on this for giving me the inspired concept. But I'm going to let my ego come out a little bit. I did the layout. I decided how to compose the piece, but the idea is not mine. But I thought it was such a worthy idea, Joe. So if you're watching this or ever see this video, Mr. Ward gets a credit. Webbed feet. The webbing was really difficult on this. I have to admit, the webbing in the fingers and the toes. So I get this little wedge brush here like this that I'm just kind of going and fixing some of that webbing here. And webbing on a beast of this kind, certainly not an easy undertaking because of the granular aspect of canvas. I say granular because of the texture of the surface. This painting almost would have been better to do on wood, because I really don't like the canvas aspect of this. What I mean by that is canvas has canvas is a woven cloth, and when you weave cloth, you get bumps and ridges and lines, and it's a grid. It really is a grid, and I don't like that. You have to go over many applications of paint to get rid of it completely, and that's why primering it. You can primer your canvas with spray paint. Just buy gray primer, then go over it with a layer of acrylic, and then paint, and you get rid of a lot of that. I didn't do that on this one here, and I should have. But when I did it, I wasn't so into that technique that I think some painters use, that I've used on some other things, because there's an underpainting that was already there. I painted over an old painting, and therefore it was already quite covered with the painting that was there before. Okay, so anyway, just adding in some more shadowing effects here, because I noticed some spots here just kind of need it. But again, going back to what I was saying earlier about when you return to when you return to a work of whatever passion is yours, it really evokes quite a bit in terms of your understanding of your own mastery of the art, which I'm not claiming to be a master, but I claim only what I can, and that is I wish to master something in some level, but in the end, I love art, and I'm a guilty party of what I'd like to say the self-doubts in art. And I've been studying a lot of like art that really makes it to the gallery, and I think there's a lack of appreciation for pop art. This is a pop art. What I mean is pop art. It hits the popular membrane of our psyche, or the popular ethos of our culture, pop art. Andy Warhol, a big pop artist, Campbell's Soup Can. You know that piece if you've seen it, or other things he did. Marilyn Monroe, I believe, another wonderful piece that he did. And the point of what I'm trying to say is, I guess, that the lack of appreciation of pop art really was a long time ago, and today, not so today. But then Warhol, he was a progenitor of that. He launched that back in a time where I think it was open for change in the art world, while we were still quite authoritarian in terms of our what do I want to say, the appraisers of the art out there, who had in mind what is good art and what's bad, and so on and so forth. So, in a sense, we owe tribute to Andy Warhol for, I think, in my opinion, I'm not an art historian, but I think Andy Warhol in the 50s and 60s really allowed for something like this to have some appreciation. Maybe even a gallery would want to put something like this in it, even though it's pop art. The subject matter would be pop art, in my opinion. Taking in the popular theme of Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the Wereman, the Swamp Beast, all that. And I think I hear my son coming up. So in this episode, then, just focusing on this touch up here, and reworking, or maybe I'll say remastering. Hi, Matthew. The camera's on this side. If you want to say hi, you're not going to be seen over there. You have to come over here. Then my son Matthew.
What's that noise?
That's Alexa going off. Rain music. Here he is, my son. This was in his room, right, Matthew? Yeah, you got really attached to this piece. Sorry, Joe. This is why I can't sell it to you. Matthew, my son's very attached to this piece, and that's great.
I like what you did to the ghost.
You like the ghost better? Looks better. At the end of this piece on Facebook on Art of F.A. Checky, my page. Careful for the coffee back there, boy. I'll show it before and after on Art of F.A. Checky on Facebook. I'm not there yet. I'd like to still work this piece quite a bit more before we show the before and after. And what do you think, Matthew?
The only thing I don't like is the goblin dude.
What goblin?
Sea monster.
Okay, but in the 1950s, that was a big sci-fi horror, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but like, I don't like how you did his face again.
Well, I'm not saying you have to love it.
I like it still.
I picked my vision for this.
I like it because they're playing poker.
Yeah, and they're playing a card game. This will probably go back in Matthew's room, I would think. You don't want me to sell it, do you? How much would I have to sell it for in order for... Matthew's like, give me some money, maybe I'll change my mind.
$3,500.
That's a good price. Why don't we try some...
Then you'd have to give me...
We're going to do art prints on it first, and maybe we'll sell the original one day. And he's like, I'll sell it, and it's my painting, Dad. Even though it's really my painting.
Well, you made it for me. Remember I asked you to make me a secret.
I made it. Eventually, it became yours. Okay, let's just be truthful. Okay, why don't you hand me the coffee? We're not going to go much longer on here, but kind of what I've been doing is just touching up on the piece. Kind of just I'm just featuring it here. We're not getting into a whole bunch of instruction on this one here, but again, what I really love about pieces like this, I think, and you can see with my son Matthew here, is he even with, what is it, Hotel Transylvania?
Hotel Transylvania.
He even knows a lot about this. He's been exposed to this pop culture.
I love Halloween and stuff.
Halloween's coming up this month. We're in October.
I mean Jason for Halloween.
Yeah, he's going to be Jason for Halloween. Yeah, so I mean, just to kind of make a long story less boring, we'll go ahead.
Can Hayden come over for hot chocolate?
Yeah, later we can. Matthew has a friend next door. He comes over and plays a lot. These kids always have a bazillion questions, so we don't bring them over much when I'm painting. They're good kids, but they can have a lot of questions. And that's good. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just hard to do video. Matthew, he understands a lot of what I do already, and
you said you're gonna give me the universal one.
Huh?
The one that balances time. That painting.
Yeah, we did a painting that you saw with the hourglass in it, which is invoking this idea that there is a balance in time and space. More to it than that, but the infinite aspects of time and space. So what we've done here again is just kind of retouched up a lot here with the swamp creature. I picked this image of it. She doesn't like it. Oh well. There's other people on Facebook I know that like it.
How do you spell chocolate?
Chocolate?
Yeah.
CHOCOLATE, I think. I might be wrong, but...
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right. I'm right.
That one.
Too much coffee. Yeah, well, we showed that in the last episode, actually. That was part of the last episode.
The balance of time and space continuum.
Yeah. But again, when we're in a remastering of a work of some kind, we're trying to improve various things, and I'm gonna. Where's my big ruler? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna emphasize this again: is that you have to use hand rest for detail, or else you must have a hand that is more steady than the finest surgeons on the planet. Alexa, skip. I'm not big on this track here.
What is that horn for that you have, Daddy?
It's a conch that holds beer, I think. Your mom got it for me in England.
Are you gonna ever drink beer out of it?
Or maybe it was in Ireland. No.
Why?
Because it's a wall decoration. Alexa, skip this track. Why won't I drink beer out of it? Because it's just a wall decoration. I don't drink enough beer to even use it for that. Ooh, this is a nice song.
How did you make a playlist?
I didn't. It's a station. Probably YouTube will block it out anyways. It'll mute it because I don't have rights to this music. Hopefully you can't even really hear it because we're on the speaker on this camera is not going to pick up a lot of it. So anyway, and I think going back to some of my other points of pop art is that there's opportunity in art right now to come back to some of these older forms of poster art, which I call it poster art. You can see a lot of it in Batman and other superheroes or whatever. Poster art was also a big thing. Lithograph art. But anyway, to make a long narrative short on this, I think that the old horror movies, which have a lot of posters too, the old movie posters have an open space right now for a little bit more in that genre. And I think Matthew, just being a younger kid, is evidence that this pop sensation is still much alive, especially like we talked about Hotel Transylvania. So we're going to finish up here. You can kind of see some of the detailing, the use of the hand rest, just kind of detailing out a little bit more here and there, using some carbon black just to make some fine lines here and there, to shadow out some things, to elaborate on this piece, such that it didn't look before is so much. You'll see again on Facebook when the final piece is out there. Eventually, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
Covering up some of the little lines that just are spots that never really got enough paint that you can see a little bit of a white.
How do you make hot chocolate?
With the packets. Opportunity to film this and bring my son on camera, which was nice. As I've told him before, hopefully he tells his friends about it. I hope you tell your friends. I want to see more young people involved in art and art appreciation of various kinds, of getting involved in creative, imaginative, just, expression. If this was expression here, in a sense, it's just expression of a concept or idea. The deeper meanings of which are not all that deep. And that's okay. Art doesn't always have to be so deep, does it? Should it? Sometimes art for art's sake, art for the mind, the soul, art for that aspect of what we are internally and as far as our desire to create, a desire to appreciate creation. We've been doing this since we were cavemen. The cave art, the wall art out there, and so on. But please like, please share, please subscribe, tell everybody about us. This is the piece for October for Halloween. Next episode in Art of F.A. Checky. Again, half the proceeds are going to go to charity. Very happy to do that. If you tell more people about us, get more subscribers, more views, we can help others out. The arts, the humanities, animal causes, so on and so forth. And, endangered species. We had the elephant episode, for instance. I really want to do that, but I can't get there without you. So I hope if this episode ever lands on your device, your handheld, or your TV, that you give it a view, a like, a subscribe, because we really want to help people, and we want to get people into the arts. Art is so important, and I hope you kids still do this stuff, because I drew, I painted, I did all kinds of creative stuff when I was a kid, and I want you to too. So be the artist you were meant to be, you're born to be the person you were born to be, follow your fate, follow your destiny, and find that fulfillment in life. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Ha 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 ha!